Well, everybody, welcome back to another episode. This is our annual, yearly, end of the year, beginning of the year thing episode. So we're gonna talk about everything we did this last year because we tried it yesterday and it was a crapshoot, so we're doing it again. And when we also found out we left out a lot of stuff because we're surprised we did a lot of things last year. So here we go. We have a list. Well, at the beginning of last year, I looked at some of my old woodworking and I thought, poop, I don't like it anymore. So I started to redo it because I now know how to do epoxy, the right way to sand, and how to make furniture more sexy. So that's what I started doing, redoing a lot of my old woodworking, and I think it turned out nice.
It did.
In January also, there's an exhibit for artists like us at the Hopkins Center in Hopkins, Minnesota, where Kara and I both got pieces in, except Kara's painting of Hopper, which is called Fear, got an honorable mention.
For Hopper, it was funny because I debated on that name for a long time, but it suited that painting because it's the image she sent me of her when college went into shutdown. So that's why I named it the way I did, but Hopkins, when they announced virtually that I had gotten a honorable mention, they had to censor it, like he couldn't say the F word and it was funny.
Goes to Lasiewicz for Fear.
The naughty word. Also in January, we looked at our art van and we thought we could do better. So we updated all the shelving so it would be more, I guess, modular, more flexible, because all of our stuff changes, especially my furniture. If I make something but I notice it's not selling, then I put in a different piece of furniture and I don't make the same thing. Just like Kara, she doesn't always make the exact same size painting. So we needed to update it so it would be more accommodating to what we did, and it turned out really cool.
So it doesn't fall out?
Yep.
Yes.
So you can put this here, that comes up to meet it.
Oh, smart boy. You did a thing.
Oh. Yeah, there's little things here and there that it's not perfect, but you know, it's good for us. So.
It's more gooder than it was.
It's more better gooder, everybody. Also in January, we started YouTube Shorts just for fun. Not that we needed another thing to do, but I had a bunch of small videos that I wanted to share with the world and get out there, and it's like, what better way than to make more dumb videos than to make short dumb videos.
And who is the most popular?
Our cat Vincent. Usually when we put a video out, it gets maybe 30 views because we have over 500 some subscribers, but we get about 30 people, so that's less than 10%.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
We put one out with Vincent on, he got over 500 views. It's
All
like,
because he wanted to eat yogurt and sound like who from Princess Bride?
I'm drawing a blank, I don't remember.
Carrie Ells.
She simply said, please. Please, I need to live.
Another thing we did in January is Kara was helping David Hummer with one of his big commissions, and it was finally finished in January, so that was a big milestone because it was a big painting. A first for us happened in January. We got to speak at a school as artists, which was really weird because we were teachers for 15 years. And that, yeah,
Please.
I don't know what you mean.
don't sass me.
I say this to help you.
So we were guest artists talking about being artists at a school, and it was really weird for us, but we had a lot of fun doing it. And the cool thing is they paid us to do it too.
Yeah.
We were just gonna do it for free, and it's like, here, you get money. It's like, I like being an artist, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
At the end of last year's video on our 2021 year, we mentioned that we were gonna do something with Patreon.
We were also discussing the possibility of a Patreon.
Well, it's pretty close to a year later, and we finally have our Patreon done. It's not active just yet. We're waiting just because we're scared, stupid, and we don't know exactly what we're doing, but we're doing it anyways. So we're gonna be talking more about our Patreon account that we just finished at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. I guess the coolest thing that happened in January was we got a new kitty cat named Vincent. He showed up one stormy night, 15 below. He's pounding on the glass.
What?
And he had his hand out and said, please.
Please, sir, I'd like some more.
This is new cat. That's his name, new guy.
Okay, so you and I were in the kitchen. It's a little after 9 o'clock at night and it was 15 below. and it kind of looked like it does right now where it's freezing rain.
You can't see that, everybody.
No, but you can hear it against the house. Gadget is actually the one that saved him because we would have never seen him, so I think she hates herself for that now, but that's okay, she's a big sister. But she started growling out through the patio door for no reason. We're like, Gadget, what are you looking at? And we see this dark bundle on the other side of the window of the patio door, and here it was Vincent just huddled there, freezing to death. So I go and I open the patio door, and he just zooms right in, and we scoop him up. He was so happy he didn't know if he wanted to eat or purr or drink first.
Wash me out. He's gonna bite it.
But he had a big wound on his neck, and he just had ice like a lion's mane around his neck because he was so beat up.
And now he's all better.
And now he used the sweet potato because he's put on a little weight.
He was skinny, he was the long tall, now he's sweet potato.
Yeah.
Now in February, since the painting was done that Kara helped David Hummer on, we went down to Milwaukee to help deliver and install that. And at the same time, I had some woodworking commissions for a lady I met at an art fair down in Milwaukee. That was a fun day because we never installed a big painting at a corporate office before, or did some deliveries of artwork to another town kind of like that before. So it was fun to have a car full of artwork, and then on the way back home, it all gone.
Just one extra painter in the backseat.
Yeah, then David Hummer, you know, drove with us on the way back because he had a U-Haul, the painting was so big, and he slept the whole way.
Note to self, never try and follow him when he's driving a U-Haul in downtown Milwaukee.
Yeah, red lights don't mean stop. Red lights in Milwaukee mean just keep going, man. God,
Wait,
I gotta run around.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Oh my God.
There's nobody coming.
Oh my God.
I gotta run a red light because I gotta stay with him. Also in February, David Hummer started up a new gallery, which we were part of, called the D. Anthony, and he wanted to...
How do you say that?
Tony.
D. Antony?
Yeah, D. Anthony, or as we call it in Wisconsin, Tony.
Oh boy.
Except when he was starting it up, he was painting the walls, he fell flatter and broke his heel. So we started volunteering a little bit more better.
He represents the little guppies like us along with some of the big fish.
Yep, because the little guppies have to eat some of the scraps from the big fish, I guess. That's the way it works in the wild. National Geographic, I don't know, man.
Here's an analogy.
March, we just kept plowing on that gallery because there's a lot of work. We started on the ceiling, which was about 20 feet tall, and ended on the floor, meaning we had to sand the floor. And if you ever had to sand a floor, don't. It's terrible.
Because he said it's only been about the second time it's been refinished.
And it's like
And
a
it's
100-year-old floor.
And it's old. It has a wear pattern. It has a cow path for people to walk.
Oh man. We went over some spots with the floor sander like 6-7 times, and still, it's better, but you see it.
There's history.
Also in March, we started the flooring that's in our garage that leads into our house. But the hard part is we just can't put flooring in. Kara and I, we have to make the flooring ourselves and then install it and then hand sand it. And then if there's a defect, we have to add colored epoxy. I'm glad we had not a lot going on in March because that flooring
Not a lot.
That's from what we usually do. Also in March, we checked out a gallery that is down by Madison, Wisconsin, in the town of Stoughton, and they were interested in a lot of my woodworking and some of Kara's pottery, so we had to go check them out just to make sure they were legit, and they were. And on the way back home, it was St. Paddy's Day. We always wanted to have a St. Paddy's Day drink at an Irish bar with Kara's mom, and since that's the first year that she's actually retired and turning 70, we had a drink at an Irish bar with my Irish wife, my Irish mother-in-law.
But then when we first got there was a lot of people already day drinking that were not sober.
There's one really drunk guy. He's really happy to see Kara's mom for some reason and just announced it to the whole bar. Now in April. In April, there's an event at the Wausau Museum of Contemporary Art called the Salon des Refuses. I say that wrong, sorry, just refuses. It's like you didn't get your art in anywhere, put it in here.
Good enough.
Yeah.
You tried entering your artwork and it didn't get accepted to certain galleries, so almost back in the day when it was created, kind of a slap in the face to the high mucky muck galleries that maybe didn't accept or like your work. They would just open it up and say, you didn't get in here, like you said, fine, we'll show them and we'll just pack the gallery full.
And we were a part of that show, so it was fun because we both had pieces in, and the coolest part is both of our pieces were on the same wall. So Kara had a big painting hanging up, and below it was one of my tables, so it was fun. In April, we always do our annual maple syrup, so we did that, except there's like wind advisories when we were boiling the syrup, like 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds all night. It's like...
All night and the next day.
And it was crap. Okay, and that's spring in Wisconsin. We have a 50-mile-an-hour wind bundled with snow trying to keep a fire lit to boil maple syrup. So it's like...
all odds against you.
That's crap. But I guess hate and disdain tastes better in maple syrup.
Tastes great in your coffee.
That's true. Also in April, we usually have our annual open house just because it's a fun thing to do. It's not a huge moneymaker, but it makes us clean the house really well. So I think that's the main reason why we do it. We like to show everything off, but it was also our first open house without Butters because he passed away last year. Another thing we did in April was Kara's mom found an art competition at jerrysartorama.com where it was a portrait competition. And we didn't think anything of it, but when we looked at it, there's a lot of really big fish that do this, so we thought, what the heck, we'll try it out. And when I mean we, I mean Kara, because I don't paint. So Kara did a nice portrait painting of herself. When you submit it, you can either get recognized for the Jerry's Artorama people picking you, or you get enough votes just from people that view it.
So people's choice versus juried, meaning the Jerry's people.
Very good, better than what I said. So we tried to get the people's choice going because, you know, we know a lot of people. So we were experimenting with marketing the painting and trying to get people to vote. We tried it out and it worked because out of 1,400 entries, Kara was 14, top 20, but a lot of that was from the people who voted. So everybody who voted for Kara's painting, you have really good taste. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the last thing in April was David Hummer's gallery, the D. Anthony, Tony.
I was gonna say, you said it nice.
Opened up officially. It was a soft opening, so there was no big parade or anything. But Kara and I both have permanent pieces in that gallery for sale, so we're represented by another gallery. So for us, that's a really cool thing. So thank you for letting us have artwork there. We appreciate it.
Well, and the nice thing too is he told us it's not because we're friends with him and we help him out. He says you genuinely have good work because he's like us, doesn't like nepotism.
We're not related, so.
Well, as a friend.
Well, that's the end of April.
Oh.
We're just in a different room. We're in a photography room right now. But we're going to be talking about May because that's the next month. Not a lot happened in May. The biggest thing that happened was the gallery in Stoughton officially opened. We weren't there, but we watched it online, so that counts. But it's cool that it opened because now we're officially...
We have gallery representation in 2 galleries.
In June, we had our first wedding shoot, and it was Kaylee's wedding. The cool thing about that is Kaylee was one of Kara's older students. And what we didn't know, and Kara didn't know, is...
She said that when she was a junior, senior in high school, and she found out that we were making the switch over to being professional artists, but at the time still teaching full-time. But yeah, that was one of her dreams, was to have us photograph her wedding. In June, we had our first art fair, which was the Banbury Art Crawl. So we did it. We were just stuck in a crappy yellow corner with a floor drain. Oh, that looks excessively orange. And we made a video on that because it's one of the things we do. But the highlight of that was, of course, Kara's biggest fan, Liz, showed up with her family and gave Kara some cool inspirational photos for additional paintings that Kara is planning on doing. Yes, and hopefully doing some more model shots with her soon. Since June was a busy month, we did that Banbury Art Fair, but we also did a Stonebridge Art Fair over in the Twin Cities. And we also did another art fair in Duluth, so it was kind of the art fair month. In July, we did another art fair, and it was the one in Madison, and from what we were told, it was the biggest one in all of Wisconsin. So we were excited for that, and we did it, and it was like, meh. I don't get it, dude. Like, there's a lot of people there, but that was it. But the best part about the art fair was we met lots of people that we haven't seen in a long time. We had a buddy that we met in college, Evan, that we're still friends with, so him and his family showed up. Ron, from Ron and Dottie, he came all the way from Illinois and he showed up and visited. I had a student from Spencer show up, Ruby. She heard we were there, so she stopped as she was going somewhere. I don't know. And then I had a student from totally different state stop by because she still has family
in Wisconsin. That was Savannah, and she showed up with some other students that I recognized and had said, yeah, lots of people, everybody.
And Philip Salem when he was there. Painter's terms, that was my highlight.
Also in July, one of Kara's buddies from college, Kristen, who was also her maid of honor in our wedding, she flew back to Wisconsin to visit family. We spent a day with her. And of course, since you meet somebody at college, you go back to the same college town just to hang out, break in the building, set fires, that kind of stuff. So we had fun with her, and we had coffee too. Also in July, since we only had the one big art fair we were planning in Madison, we had some time to do some farm maintenance, so we decided to redo the structure where the old gas tanks used to be.
What's the problem?
14 nails holding on his goddamn board. And thank God we did that, because when we took out the old supports, Kara dropped the supports after we took them out from about waist high, and they all broke in half. That's how rotted everything was.
So bad.
So now it's a superstructure.
Hey, Beau, we should play Enya. You're doing Jean-Claude Van Damme.
And it's never gonna fall down, and we're glad we did it because it looks pretty.
You're gonna make a video on that sometime in the future too, right?
Oh yeah, we have so much video. I mean, we have more video than time, but you'll see it sometime. I'm sure there's a little clip of it right here. We're doing concrete and stuff today, but my wife's nice and sweaty. She's like a payday bar. A little nutty, a little salty. The last thing in July was Kara got a lot of her pottery commissions done at the same time. It wasn't a lot of commissions, but it was a lot of pottery. I mean, one was a square plate commission, square plates with flowers engraved on them. It's like, the frick do you do that? But Kara figured it out. She did a plate commission for one of her old students, Cassandra. And that was a full plate commission with everything there, so.
Well, plates, cups, bowls.
Everything, man.
The whole dinnerware set.
The whole dinnerware set, and Kara found out what dunting was.
Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we made a video on that, so if you want to know what dunting is, you can, it's right here.
Like, you're gonna put a Mr. Yuck sticker over it?
And then she also had another pottery commission where she had to do gold luster on stuff. So it's like painting with sexy liquid gold.
Yeah, that's fun. That's some potent smelling stuff too.
That has an odor.
But it looks so pretty.
Odor, people.
Odor.
The next month, August, we did some more art fairs, and it's like we made videos on all those art fairs, so it's like, that was fun, I guess, like art fair, yay. The best thing that happened in August was there was another little exhibition at David Hummer's new gallery, the D. Anthony, to Tony. And the juror was Alyssa Monks from New York, and if you don't know who Alyssa Monks is, if you watch that video, you will.
Yeah.
She's big fish, she's fun. We met her before when the museum first opened up like 5-6 years ago or so. And she was cool back then. Guess what? She's still cool now.
Yeah, she's awesome. Just, I have no words.
That is Kara's spirit animal, everybody.
Yeah. She remembered us after how long?
We have that face.
I have that face.
I have that face.
Yeah.
Kara has a face. The last thing in August was I had a big TV tray table commission. And if you ever made TV tray tables before, it's a lot of inner moving parts. There's a lot of parts that you gotta sand. It's like, oh my God. They're nice.
They're gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, now it is new location.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, we're back in a new location, and it's a new day and even a new week. Because, of course, when we record stuff, we forgot to focus the camera. So we're doing it all over again. We're in the month of September. And in September, we started another horrible art fair. But at least this one we kind of like because it's in Wausau. It's close by. And we like Wausau. It wasn't a very good art fair because it rained one whole day. And we just had soggy feet for about 11 hours. But on the bright side, Kara's aunt and uncle came over. And Kara's mom came over because she's retired. She ran out of excuses. And we all got to go. And we all got to go to an Irish bar afterwards to warm up and dry off. So that was fun. And David Hummer came with us too. So it was a fun little not hate your life anymore party.
We got to be across from his new gallery.
Yeah, we were right across. We could see him nice and dry in his nice new place, and we're out.
Shivering.
September was also a month of some weddings. We did a wedding for a couple called Haley and Dan. We never met them, but we got to know them real fast because when you're a photographer, you get the backstage pass and you get to see everything nobody else does. So it's always a lot of fun. I found out that they are fellow nerds and they are fellow cat parents. Also in September, we did another wedding for Amanda and James. And the funny part about that is we knew Amanda when she was in middle school when we were all in karate together. And now she is the big grown-up. Rounding out September, we did an art fair in a town called Lakeville over in Minnesota. We've never done that one before. It was kind of the last one of the season, and it seems to be our thing where the last one of the season's our best fair. So we like Lakeville. In September, Kara's mom's birthday, September it is. She turned 70. And that's a long time. So we took her up to Duluth to go agate finding, and that's a fancy word of saying, hey, let's spend 6 hours on the road and look for rocks.
Yeah, good way to start the birthday week. Uh-oh.
This is nice.
Holy cross him!
Let's just go and look for rocks.
We found some. They're little itty bitty baby agates, but we found rocks.
Pretty.
They're pretty rocks. They're really pretty. And we also took her on a boat ride, which she wasn't expecting. So we had fun doing it. Lastly, in September, Kara and I both had pieces accepted at the Pablo in Eau Claire. And we like the Pablo because they seem to like us back. So it's always fun to get into an art exhibition where we both get pieces in, because that doesn't happen all the time. And then when October started, we had another wedding, except this time we were wedding videographers. It was the first time we did that.
Is it videographers or videographers?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Video people. We were the video people. The couple knew that we had no experience doing video, but they let us do it anyway, so.
Because the groom kind of asked us, and he's an old fellow karate.
Yeah, and the groom, we knew him when he was a little middle schooler in karate. And now, once again, he is now the big grown-up. Also in October, we did a family photo shoot for one of our buddies, Brianna, and that is a person Kara used to babysit. So that's how old we are becoming. We took family photos of somebody Kara used to babysit. Since October, we started slowing down on the art fairs. We started on our basement floor again. And I say it that way because it's about the third to fourth time we've tried our basement floor, and it finally worked out. We put down a luxury vinyl tile, that's what it's called, and it just, our basement looks cool. So we realized we screwed up, and now we are completely redoing it several years later. If you look, we have a second failed attempt at epoxy flooring.
They were expensive mistakes.
We made TikToks of the process here and there because it was just demoralizing bad choices in your life. We also got to start fixing up the barn a little bit. And when you have a wood shop that's in a 100-year-old barn, you need to do yearly maintenance on it. So what better way to do maintenance on a barn than to bust down a wall and then build it back up again? We only have a small window because we have about 8 months of winter here in Wisconsin. Also in October, we got to box up the last art show that was in the Wausau Museum of Contemporary Art before they closed the doors for remodeling. And we are currently helping with the remodeling. How rude. Since we were helping out at the museum, that was one of our part-time jobs. And we never thought we'd have to get a part-time job. Since we are full-time artists, we figured out that it's okay to get a part-time job to help sustain you as a full-time artist.
You need to be financially healthy if you want to focus on what it is you're creating.
So with that in mind, we didn't mind getting a part-time job, because for us, we thought if we got a part-time job, we failed at our art career. And it's just helping to support our art career. So it was just a little hard for us to turn our brains that way, if that makes sense. I think I just made a new t-shirt. The last thing we did in October is we went to Menominee, which is our old college stomping grounds, to drop off some art at the Mabel Tainer, as we were planning to do an art fair there in November.
The eagle has landed.
But we got to drop off some of our art early because they were going to showcase it. And since we were in town, we decided to drop in on some of Kara's old students that were graduating that same year.
One's graduated, one's going to graduate in May.
Within a year. So then November hit, and then we did the Mabel Tainer Art Fair right away, and it was fun. As it's an old castle, and we haven't been there since college, and since we were artists there, we got to get there early, stay late, and then just walk around the place unsupervised. So it's a lot of fun for a bunch of Gen Xers just to snoop around an old castle and see what we could look at.
I love snooping.
Also in November, one of Kara's students, Lauren, who is at UW Stout, it was her big show. She had a solo art show for painting. And if you don't know this, Having a solo art show while you're in college is a big deal. So good job, Lauren, you're a big deal. Then the last month of the year, December, well, yeah, sounds so stupid. The last month of the year, December.
All them looks.
All them looks and no brains. We went back to Menominee for a third time because it was Kara's other student, Skylar. And she had her senior show along with a lot of other people because
It was a departmental show.
also in December it finally started to slow down for us as far as driving to places, doing art fairs. So I got to play in my wood shop a little bit more. So I decided to play with my dust collection. So I moved the dust collector from one side of the shop to the other so it'd be more efficient. I'm using aluminum tape to tape all my joints because so I have to eliminate air leakage here and there to have maximum suckage. And for you woodworkers out there, if you ever decide to move a dust collector, chances are you have to move all the dust collection pipe too. So that took a while. That'll be a YouTube video, but also that month we did a small photo shoot for some of Kara's relation, her aunt and uncle. We did a family photo shoot of them, and that was fun because it was kind of like planned the same week we did it, and we knew it was going to be in this little lodge up north, so we knew the lighting was terrible, so it was a good challenge for us to try and fight lodgy color, meaning yellows and browns. Also last month we did our first holiday YouTube video, which was essentially us just getting the Christmas tree, decorating it, and all the stupid stuff we do that day because we're Gen Xers, so we like to reminisce about the good old 80s.
She-ra.
It's as good as Jen.
So in that video we have lots of 80s references. We're watching 80s cartoons and decorating the tree and being very inappropriate and silly for our age. So
We were being nostalgic.
I hope you enjoyed it. Also, getting close to the end of December, Kara finally finished one of her painting commissions. The reason why it took her so long is because when it's a painting commission or any kind of commission, artists want to get it just right.
Yeah.
So
I was struggling.
since it's the last month of the year, we're getting ready for taxes and we're still trying to figure out little business things here and there. So we're doing banking stuff because we don't have our business paperwork completely done. So it's fun to try and figure that out. So once we do, we'll probably make another horrible tax video or something to help out other small businesses and artists that are completely brain dead like us. Also this month, we got some mystery box in the mail and it was a bunch of candy and fruits and fun stuff. So whomever sent that, thank you very much.
Yeah.
We have no idea who it is. Maybe it's a ghost. We don't know.
Maybe it's Martha from the museum.
And lastly this month, we finally figured out our Patreon. We know a year ago during the filming of the same video, we said we're gonna try Patreon, and it took us this long to figure it out or finally do it. So we now know how to do the Patreon. It's gonna be active probably when this video goes out. And for those of you that don't know what Patreon is, it's a website where you can go and subscribe to a membership for a certain amount of money and you get different perks. And essentially it is the fans and customers of us supporting us through a monthly membership, and in return we give you little perks such as different videos, giveaways, thank you letters, stuff that we are trying to figure out, because if you're going to be supporting us for a small monthly fee, we want to say thank you in a certain way. So we're trying that out, and the link's in the description. We're not big on pushing stuff and advertising it because
We're not a used car salesman.
That's right, we're not.
And that's not a dig to any used car salesman. Just
Sorry you used car salesmen out there, it's just
can't say anything.
stereotype.
We don't want to be pushy because that's not our style.
We're not very good at describing it because we didn't practice that speech at all. It's just,
I wasn't ready.
we weren't ready. We weren't ready, people.
I would have waited.
But that's all the stuff we did this last year. And this is the third time we're filming this video because we are not professional YouTube people. We just do it for fun. So for all of our people that watch these videos and support us just by clicking the like button or giving us a comment or even just simply watching the video, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.